Hi. Okay. So, sorry if I seem a little like frantic and a little bit like out of it, but like this is the second time I've had to record this now, because the first time I got through everything, and not only did my camera die at the very end, but you couldn't hear my mic really. It was just stuttering. It was choppy. I figured it out. I hope, and I don't have to do this a third time, but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna do it again. So, hi. Sorry it's been a minute. There's been a lot of reasons. But we're back. That's all that matters. Intermission is over. We're good. We Gucci. And I'm here to break down another song for the EP. So we're here to talk about another song off the EP. And this isn't the one that I think I talked about it in Creep that I was stuck on. This isn't that one. We'll get to that one next time. But we're gonna just start at the front and we're gonna move through. I kind of bounced around the last one, and it was kind of confusing. So this is Sweet Dreams, as in Sweet Dreams are made of this. And yeah, this one and the one we're gonna talk about next time in the next video are kind of start the same. For some reason I'm into the starting as mono and then opening up into stereo. I don't know. It's a thing for me right now, but that's what we've done. So I started with this really kind of affected vox that you'll hear kind of around this 7-bar mark, like open up into stereo.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Traveled the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.
Which will then take into an entire like spread out stack.
Some of them want to use
layers
you.
and layers and layers, baby. We love our vocal layers.
Some of them wanna get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you.
So underneath all of that, we've got a beautiful, 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 beautiful bed of synths and pads. So the pads, actually, honestly, I'm not really going to show you because they don't add that much. It's just kind of a little like, here comes some music. The real magic happens here with this synth hit from Output Sounds Arcade. Into this bed of just swirling arps that come from Nexus and East West's Forbidden Planet, which on their own sound like this. I don't know why. I was going to say don't sound that interesting. I think they do. Just kind of a nice evolving pluck and a nice glittery, spacey movie bed for it all to sit on. But the real interesting thing happens down here. So this is my first bass in the bass layers. It's called Alternate Future from Output Sounds Analog Brass, and just fills up a lot of space but provides some low end. Which is just so nice. But the real bass that I'm proud of. So I love Moog synths. There's just some about them that I love. They're just rich, fat, warm, and dripping with analog goodness. And Universal Audio makes a really great version, and a lot of people I love it too after using it. And I took a Taurus drone, which is just another, I think it's actually the Taurus bass is like a pedal bass. I'm not entirely sure, but don't quote me. But it's just a big drone that I kind of modified a little bit. I ran it through Shaperbox 3 times. Look at that. To give it some distortion, some just all around goodness, some dancing. And I ran it through a filter that's free synced. So it's going in hertz instead of like quarter notes, et cetera, to kind of create this like, those like tubes that you like, that like kind of open stuff up. It sounds like this. And it creates this rich bed along with this. When you put it all together,
some of them want to abuse you.
You get this really spacey
Some
intro,
of them want to be
which takes us into our hook. So that iconic synth riff, I've always heard it as a bit more bouncy, or at least when I started this song many years ago, I heard it a bit more bouncy, and for some reason with this vibe, so I did it, and hopefully I don't get in trouble for it. But I don't think I will. I'm always so paranoid about getting in trouble with covers because you're not really actually supposed to, like, there's weird rules. The music industry has weird rules because copyright law is old and it sucks. But it comes in with these huge so we've got 3 layers of plex to give us that filling riff. But then that's overset just a bed of just monstrous synth hits that are just gritty, and it just says, hi, we're in the song, I hope you're paying attention. Underneath that, I've got in the drums, just some weird, I don't even know how to describe it, drum loop, again from Output's Arcade. Just kind of cinematic, intense, right? And then I chopped it. To fit with the rest of this, which is just a very clean, minimal 4 on the floor style beat. And that's just made up of this, I call it the clockwork hat. Sounds like a clock ticking. Really low in there. More of that similar kind of, I think they came from the same, yeah, they did, Obsidian loops section. That one I just showed you, and just a beefy kick. And then from there, we get into what, honestly, I'm most proud of. It's so sexy. This bass line, which is made up of 3 different basses. This first one is from a classic analog synth, the DX7. It's a massive, Native Instruments massive recreation, so it's not perfect, but it's got the same vibe. It's very woody, very Adam Lambert's Ghost Town. And then underneath that, we have, taking up a lot of the low end, is a organ bass, which is very much Robin S.'s Show Me Love, which sounds like this. And then in the middle, from Massive X from Native Instruments, there's this kind of in-between sound that's kind of a mixture of both of them, and it's called Organic Lows, and it sounds like this. And when you put them all together, you get this really sexy stack of bass. It's round, full, woody, plucky, and vibes when you put those drums back in. It's so good. So when you put all that together, you get this really sexy, we're in the song moment, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Just bouncy. It's good, right? Then we get into our chorus. Here we go.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I've traveled the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something.
And then we take a complete kind of 180. We go into this dreamy, smooth, spaced out, ethereal kind of bridge section. With some overly pitch-corrected vocals, but then this bed of just dreamy, arpeggiated synths, which are all, it looks like, from Roland. Yeah. Their Xenology plugin is incredible. They've done an incredible job, like, recreating, which I always say incredible job recreating. Like, they recreated. They didn't recreate anything. They are the originators of their synth. Turning their synths into plugins, and the Xenology kind of cover is like a kind of one-stop shop to get them all, but with like out the interface that looks like the synth, I guess. But I've got some stuff from the Juno here. These are probably beefed up too. Like, I don't know if the actual Juno could do a pad with an arpeggio, like, you know, create that much of a pad underneath. I don't know. I've never had one. But another one just to kind of fill it out at the end. This is one of my favorite sounds on the planet. Most people know this from Enya's Orinoco Flow, Sail Away, that takes up just that, all of the chords in there, but it's from a Roland keyboard, the Roland D50, and it's called Pizzigogo. But I just needed something a bit more plucky, but still digital, because I would probably normally go for like a realistic pit string, but I didn't want that for this. I wanted something different. And then some water drops these two are just kind of ear candy. You could pick them out if you really listen, but they're more just to add texture and flavor to the ear. And then underneath all that, we've got a soft pad. And just a good choir from the XV5080, which really reinforces the oohs in a really, really nice way. Then if you take it out, it feels just a little bit empty. Just makes it feel like there's more there than there really is. And then there's these lovely like piano effects that are reversed. Again, the song's mostly ear candy. It's not a lot of like chordal information, or it's a lot of rhythmic information and yeah, ear candy. And then our juicy war horns to bring us back into our chorus. But this time it's a little bit different. We've got our same plucks, we've got our same bass line, but instead of a sung bass, we have my vocal, which I ran through Waves Morphoder with a preset that is just called Whisper Vocoder, and it just turns anything into a whisper, and it just was so eerie but worked so well. And it's kind of underneath a lot of stuff just as a textural element, but I wanted it to sit on its own for a minute. So it's just panning from left to right and all around your head, which takes us into the verse, which is different this time. This time I wanted a spacier, dronier, more like the intro verse, just to keep you interested and keep it interesting and always changing.
Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by.
Yeah, so, and then here in this verse bass, I did the same thing that I did at the start, which was using is that the one I used? Nope, that's not that same kind of LFO trick at the start. To really, keep it spicy. And then I did this trick, and I still can't figure out if this is like a bug that's never been fixed or an actual feature, but I'm thinking it's an actual feature that I don't know if a lot of people know about. So if you use Logic, or if you don't use Logic, so you can create fades, which are what these white ones are. But with the same tool, you can create speed grades, which create tape stop effects, like a type of sound. So you can also create crossfades, which is, just a gentle fade between two pieces of audio. But you can also switch that into a speed grade. So you've created like a speed grade cross fade, and they sound really cool, especially when you use them in a lot of glitchy synths. And I use it a lot. It's an effect I love, but it sounds like this. Yeah, so it sounds like a tape, like two different tapes starting and stuff. It's crazy. But I did that at the same time as that LFO comes in to really highlight it. So it just sticks out a bit more, because before I did that, it just kind of faded into the background, which is not what I wanted, obviously, Underneath that, I've got a bed of just tuned noise, literally just a preset from Roland, filling out a lot of space. And then this weird sort of synth that I just stumbled across, just flipping through presets. And it doesn't do much, but every now and then, and it's random, it just pops off with just this high-end information, which you can see here and here. And I got really lucky when I bounced this out, and then it like basically framed that whole bit. All really nice. We go back into the bridge again, which is exactly the same as the first one. Just now we got a filtered kick underneath. And now we move into the guitar solo. So there are four elements that make up this guitar solo. The first is this guitar feedback, which is from a Cell Dweller sample pack, tuned to be in key, and it was really just 1/2 step up from a G to a G sharp. And then I think it's Orange Tree Samples that makes this contact instrument called the Infinity Guitar. And I ran it, I'm pretty sure, through Bias Effects, which, you know, sounds all right. It's a little thin. It's not the greatest. And then so I doubled it with another one that's a bit more metally, more high gain, right? Which sounds, you know, better. And then the real icing on the cake came from my Seaboard block, the Equator synth, with a preset called Guitar Overdrive. And with that, I played it again, but I put in some little like note bends, and at the very end, just a huge slide. And when you put them all together, it kind of gives this weird like, oh, that's a guitar. Wait, is that a guitar or is that a synth? Is that a fake guitar? Is that a real guitar? I don't know. And I really love that. Yeah. And then that takes us straight into the end of the song, which is the chorus as we know it. But this time I've added the last part of the song is like, hold your head up, keep your head up, hold your head up, keep your head up, hold your head up, keep your head up, moving on. So I've done that, but I panned it alternating between hard left and hard right.
Hold your head up, keep your head up, hold your head up, keep your head up.
Just because when you have a lot of stuff right in the middle, it gets very cluttered. And so it opens up the whole mix, and it lets you kind of hear it a bit better.
Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse your head up. Some of them want to be yours.
And that's it. That's the end of the song. So that's Sweet Dreams. It's pretty simple, I guess, in terms of what's happening underneath it all. There's not much to it. I mean, there's a bed of like whooshes and sub drops, which are kind of interesting, I guess. But they're, again, a lot of it's just ear candy. That's what the majority of this song is. And it's just some piano bits spread out.
What?
Again, ear candy, not really anything crazy. But I will say the fun thing about a lot of the songs that I do, which is just how I just came from the way I like to work, is that I like to keep them pretty much in the same key and in the same BPM as the original. So if you line them up, you can oftentimes like switch back and forth, and their song structure, that's the word I'm looking for, will be identical. So in the case of this,
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something.
yeah, so, you can have fun with that. You can figure out what things I changed, what things I didn't change in terms of song structure. If I changed anything, the whole intro of this is completely different, which is typical for me. But yeah, I'm so sorry this took literally until a new year to get to you. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing great. There will be more of these on the regular, of course. Hopefully this will be up by tomorrow, which would be Friday the 27th for me here in Utah. I don't know what time, but hopefully it's Friday the 27th when you're seeing this. If not, it'll be around then. And there will be another one in due time. And yeah, I'll see you around the internet.